Now then, let's do skill building practice 8. Same margin. Begin typing when ready. You're starting a new career. It can be fun, or it can be hard. It all depends on the way you look at things, your attitude. And be considerate of your employer. Remember those simple rules of office etiquette, and you'll get along in the business world.
At times she would, call me, tell me I was a spy. She began emptying offices around me. The rest of the department, if she wasn't around, they'd come and talk to me. But as soon as she, they heard her coming or, they'd bolt. So this is my street, was my street. I guess I'm still, oh God, oh, this is awful. But I thought it was leaving in someone's hands who would take care of it. Well, it's not mine anymore, so nothing I can say or do about it. Home again.
The woman was cruel to her.
We watched her go from being a very competent professional to having so much self-doubt that it was almost crippling.
She would just lay in her bed for hours and she wouldn't want to go out and do anything or have any fun, anything like that, and she just laid in bed and cried.
Also like that.
That was nice, Sarah.
Mom,
Mom, did you see what Sarah wrote on your window? Over here.
Thank you. I love you too, Sarah.
If I did it right.
Oh, you did it again, too?
4 or 5 months to turn her life upside down. In my best professional judgment, I felt like the only thing I can do is help her get out of there, or she's going to kill herself.
I love you.
At her age, how hard is it to find a job where you have security?
This is a very economically depressed area. I've even had job placement agencies tell me, you're not going to find a job here. You're overqualified for this area. You'll have to leave to get a job. Well, it's 2 bedrooms and a living room and a dining room.
Sure.
They packed it in there pretty good.
So when do you think you'll have a house by?
I have a couple job interviews tomorrow, or next week.
Monday.
Next week, yeah.
Good.
So it could happen very quickly.
Good luck.
I hope so.
Losing it all, and then and ending up like this, sharing a bedroom with my mother. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful for my mother, because without her, I don't know what I would have done. It was lonely. And I don't even think my brothers and sisters understand just how difficult it really was. It really is. And tomorrow I'm leaving the state. I'm going away for my whole family, for my daughter. Because I still have to work. I have to, if I don't, I have to work. And I want to work.
How's that?
Good.
Is that everything in there?
Mm-hmm. I think it's enough.
I think Philip's gonna...
I'm scared to death. I am just scared to death. But it's what, in my gut, I know I have to do. Definitely by Christmas. If I don't have a job by Thanksgiving, that's when I'll come home. Okay?
Okay, are you gonna call when you get there?
Call you before I get there.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I love you.
How could it be like this? I mean, she had 17 years on this job. There's no recourse for that for her, and I think it just makes it even worse because I think as an employee, you're in a very vulnerable position. There really should be some legislation possibly in place that protects employees. These employers need to, somebody needs to monitor them, and there needs to be repercussions for this type of activity because it's just not right.
Like the whole thing with my mom, what I've really done is I've put this wall up, and the wall kind of it's obviously a defense mechanism, but it's so that I don't feel anything.
It's hard. It's very difficult to see one of your children have their lives turned upside down.
I'm really looking forward to talking on behalf of my mother and trying to help all those people out there that have gone through the same thing, because it's awful, and I've seen, you know, the toll it took on my mom, and I just love to be a part of this. As soon as this new boss came in, I noticed my mom started coming home crying. She would hide in her room. She wouldn't talk to me, and we're very close. We lost our house. We lost everything, health insurance, everything. And she actually moved to North Carolina at first to look for a job, and she wasn't successful there. So now she's in Georgia. And it's just really tough being away from my mother. This is probably the worst experience for the whole family. Like, it did ruin our lives, basically.
My daughter experienced something very similar when she loved the hotel that she was working in, but she could never get promotions. And it was really, really very, very difficult for her. I don't like to tell people to quit, but I also think, as you know, experiencing a whole personality change in people is just, it's not worth it. And so it not only affects you, obviously, but it affects everybody who cares about you and who you come in contact with. So
it's a really hard thing to deal with.
It's emotional abuse. It's the same kind of destructive, gradual deterioration and wearing away of people's self-confidence, their particularly self-confidence, the whole issue of isolation, the kinds of things that you're describing with your mom. Don't talk to people you can't. I mean, these sound very symptomatic of the kinds of things that progressively happen in a domestic violence relationship. So violence is not just physical. It's severe emotional when it causes that level of trauma.
She got cut off from any kind of angle. She tried to fix it, you know. Mm-hmm. So it's not the type of bullying that you can fix yourself.
For the most part, you can't. Just like domestic violence, it's not something that you can
control.
You can't control it. You know, why me? You know, we work very hard. We try to do what's right, and that's the other part, the unfairness.
Bad things happen to good people.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. They do.
For no reason. It's unfortunate too.
For no reason. For no reason.
So anything that can, you know, sort of prevent that is a really good thing, you know, and maybe if this goes through, my mom can get her pride back.
I think that in the moving on, there has to be healing, and healing doesn't come unless there's a sense of justice and a sense of correctness. There's just got to be some justice for people, and I think this is certainly a justice bill.
It felt good to be able to talk to someone and tell my mom's story and have people be aware of what's going on in the workplace, especially people with this kind of power. Probably make her stay longer because she won't have to share a room with my grandma.
My thing is butterflies because it's a symbol of rebirth. So my sister-in-law sent me in the mail butterflies that were with me in North Carolina and in Georgia, and now they're here. I've been working in this institution for 5 days, and I've been warned by 3 people. Stay away from so-and-so, watch out for this, watch out for your back. And I have observed right in front of me workplace harassment and abuse. I hope that a bill is passed to protect people like us.